Hello, RockonBeer viewers, and Happy New Year. Well, it's not New Year's yet. It's not New Year's yet. Even here in the future in Denmark. I don't know where my viewer base is anymore. If they're all, it's the New Year earlier in Europe than it is in America. I decided that I'm just gonna do a little New Year's ramble. I've got dinner going in there. I've got some time. The gimbal is going absolutely crazy trying to follow me out here because I'm just moving about like I'm a madman. And I thought that I've been drinking a few beers. We're not doing anything crazy this year for New Year's. We were in the U.S. last year for New Year's, recovering from COVID. So I remember New Year's fondly of just being dead on my sister's couch and watching music videos on YouTube. I think is what we did for New Year's last year. But cheers to the new year. Cheers from RockonBeer blog. I don't know if that's going to be the name of the channel for much longer. I don't know. So let's do a New Year's speech. I got just a little while before I got to go into, this is in Denmark. This is going to be the first New Year's speech from the new king. We got a king this year. Last year was the Queen's last New Year's speech. This will be the king's first speech. So in honor of that, I have donned my best regalia, my most fancy of accoutrement here. I've gotten my most dressed up to address the RockonBeer nation, and I have just a filthy haze boy in the here's the beer just in the glass. I did not realize when I bought it that it was 8.5%, so I may have to cut it back a little bit. I've got a little guy. I got just a little guy here on standby in case we need to cut back and just stay in the pocket for a while. But let's talk the year in review. RockonBeer blog. It's been a really weird year. There's been a lot happening this year. We started the year out. I went to the U.S. We went for the holidays last year to the U.S. and we ended up getting sick over there, whole family. So we missed out on some prime Michigan shenanigans of I got this for my birthday. I was gonna say I got this. I did get it in Michigan, but you can see it's Jets Pizza. Oh, if you're from the Midwest or from Michigan, I'm not sure actually how much further outside of Michigan they get. I asked my sister to get me the most Michigan hat ever for my 40th birthday, and she delivered. She very much delivered. It's a Jets Pizza camo deer hunting hat. So anyway, that is neither here nor there. We started the year off, like I said, dying on a couch in Detroit. And this year has been, I haven't brewed a whole ton. I think I want to say I've only maybe brewed, so that's okay. So up until the absolute end of the year, because now I've brewed twice in the last 2 weeks. But before that, I think I'd only maybe brewed twice this year. And I'm not even sure I made any videos about that. So the channel has been kind of stagnant this year, and I'll address that. So I haven't really been. So I changed jobs this year. I think that's something that I'll just address really quick. I did a video, one of the last videos that I did. I actually recorded it on my last day of my previous job, and I had a few, and I actually went through a whole bunch of stuff that I cut out of that video, because it is not relevant to anybody but me. And so I changed jobs this year. I was having a real tough time at my old job. We went through last year, end of last year, we went through a big layoff round at my old job. I don't know, I never talked about my old job. I was in streaming. I basically worked for like the Danish equivalent of Netflix, so a big television network here in Denmark that did streaming. So that's where I worked. Denmark's biggest television network that also had a streaming service. I won't be more. Obviously, anybody in Denmark will know exactly where I worked, but so I worked there. I worked there for 5 years, so it's a long time. But this year I wasn't having a great time there because we'd done a lot of layoffs and they did a lot of changes, which weren't sitting well with me. My workload increased exponentially, and I just wasn't having a good time. So I spent most of the middle part of this year looking for jobs. So in my free time, that's basically what I was doing, was doing job apps and doing interviews and that kind of stuff. And I didn't feel like brewing because I also was like, I was really stressed at work, and like when I came home, I just wanted to try, and I didn't want to. On the weekends, I was having trouble getting the motivation to like spend 8 hours out here brewing. So yeah, and I was also waiting for some upgrades to the brew house. We got the new, so one of the positive things, we got the new roof put on. I can't remember if I might have some footage. I'm not going to splice it in here, but we got a new roof put on this, and the facade changed that was all rotted out. So it's a much more like nice building now, like, well, outside anyway. And then, so one of the things next year is I'm going to be focusing on the inside. We'll get to that a little bit later. We're going into full ramble now. I'm going to take a big pull of this. It's like an old school, like big New England IPA, in that it has just a ridiculous amount of hops in it. So it's just like chewing on hot pellets. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of the mid part of this year was spent a lot looking for a new job, and I got a new job just before we left, and then I had a big birthday, so I turned 40 in August, which is still weird to say. I haven't gotten used to. I'm getting my eyes tested yesterday to see if I needed new glasses. And the woman was like, you probably should think about getting reading glasses because you're 40 now. And I'm like, you didn't need to do me like that. You didn't need to hit me with the forward there. Well, obviously we were speaking Danish to each other, so it wasn't that. It was a different word, but it was that's the meaning of the thing. Anyway, so I'm still getting used to that. So I went to the U.S. in August and spent 3 weeks there for my 40th birthday, which is where I got my sweet hat here. And we did, I wanted to go up north. If you're from Michigan, you know what I'm talking about. My dad's family has a cabin up north. If you're not from Michigan, that's the northern part of Michigan, where it's a lot of forest, and it's not, it's way up at the northern part of Michigan. It's a little bit more sparsely populated. Spent a lot of my childhood up there at various my dad's deer hunting cabins, and my dad's family's cabin up there. So my wife had never been there. We've been together for like 21 years now, and just never seen that place. So I really wanted, that was what I wanted for my 40th birthday, is we went up there, and I bought just an absolute shit ton of beer. I wanted to do like just a long day of beer tasting and cooking and just my best friend, my childhood best friend, or my teenage years best friend. He drove in to hang out. I hadn't seen him in years. That was awesome. And we just drank beer, and I didn't film any of it. I thought about it, but then I was like, it was a lot of private family time, so I didn't film any of that for the channel or anything. Even though it would have been, cool, but that was really nice. It was a really nice thing. And then when I got back, I had to start my new job, which I don't think I'm going to talk about where I work now. I work for a big international brand now, one that everybody would recognize. So that narrows it down in Denmark to one or two. You can probably figure out which brand I work for. But I work in IT security, so it's always weird for me to talk about my job, just to kind of put out where I work and what I do. So that's basically why I've never really talked about like where I work or what I do is because I work in security. So I keep it on the time. Here I am talking about it, but you don't know where I am. Yeah, I'm 40. I getting a little loosey goosey. It's New Year's. So anyway, started my new job. My new job was in Copenhagen. So I doing a lot of commuting. So my weekends were mostly again, like I needed to sort of relax, how it is starting a new job up. But then, I kind of convinced myself that, maybe I should just finally put the channel to bed. And I don't know, I wasn't really getting super into brewing anymore. I know that like home brewing is kind of on a decline as well, which I know that I've seen it here in Denmark. I mean, there's tons of people on the forums that I'm on that they're getting entirely out of their systems, and shops have closed. I was looking at a shop I thought that existed that I could get something from the other day, and it's like gone now. So there's, shops are closing. It's kind of on the way out a little bit. And I know that also from like just being involved in watching other people's videos and stuff. A lot of people don't put out as many videos, and as the community isn't as much there anymore. But so I thought like, oh, well, I'll just kind of maybe keep brewing as a really side hobby that I do every once in a while, and I won't do anything with the channel and stuff anymore. But then I brewed 2 times, and I brewed just 2 beers, and I kept the filming to a minimum. So it was mostly just like some really light filming. And I've got some new equipment that makes it a little bit easier. So, and it actually kind of rekindled in me, like, I enjoyed brewing, and I got into it, and it wasn't as time consuming or anything as I thought. So, and I figured that there's some things that I can do to make it even less like time consuming for me. So I think that I really want to try and get the channel going, but I think one thing that I really want to do in the new year is I like making like stupid videos like this where I'm just talking a lot and drinking beers, and like if I do like a review or want to talk about like beer stickers or something, but I don't know if it really belongs. So one of the things that I've kind of thought about doing, and I mean I'm in a position now that I could really start getting this space. All right, so I'm just gonna like, I think I'm gonna split the channel. I'm gonna make another channel because I also have a lot of other interests that I kind of want to start doing like more creative stuff around. Like I'm into coffee. I'm into food. I cook all the time. I do like a lot of like things that I miss from the U.S. or things that are like trendy in the U.S. that you can't get here. I try to recreate them like cooking wise. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new channel, and that's where I'm going to put all the just random, like me wanting to do whatever I like. If I want to come out here and talk to the camera for like 30 minutes about nothing, or do a live stream with like video games or cooking, or do like some shorts about, you know, places I go in Copenhagen or whatever, like just like completely random life, slice of life stuff. I'm going to do that on this other channel. I'm going to start that and see. And then this one I want to dedicate to brewing. So RockonBeer blog was always like, when I moved to Denmark, that was my beer blog. So when I moved here, it was just trying beers, because obviously 15 years ago when I moved here, nobody was writing about Danish craft beer in English, because there was nobody here drinking it, and there wasn't very much craft beer anyway. So it was like my thing where I just tried beers and did reviews, and I wrote about them. And then I started the channel right around the same time that I started homebrewing, and it was like an extension of the beer blog. So I tried to put homebrewing in it. And then obviously the channel used to be really split like 50-50 between beer reviews and brewing, because I couldn't brew that often. But the videos that I like to make and that actually people like to see, I can tell, are the brewing videos. And that's what I would rather be doing. Like, I would rather still be doing some like weird review videos, but I don't want to be reviewing like every beer. Like in this beer is good, but it doesn't really need to be like reviewed at all, because it's just a super fresh, like it's just a New England IPA. But like I drink some like really wacky stuff. Like over here, I earlier I drank this one, which is a beer and lime drink. And that did deserve like maybe a little video of like, what does it taste like, and why would you do this, and how did you make it? And then there's the brewing stuff. And I went through phases with the channel. When I first started brewing, that was 13 years ago, I think, now that I started, like that was my first brewing. And I wanted to do it as a career. Like that was what I wanted to do, was I wanted to brew beer. I loved brewing. I love breweries in the US. When I moved here, craft beer was super not mature. So I thought that, yeah, I'll make a brewery, and I'll make it very much like the breweries that I love in the US. So I started brewing like crazy, trying to get like recipes together, and started the channel to sort of chronicle that and get some like, I don't know, stuff behind me. And then, you know, at the time, what I thought was going to be my just day job kind of took off. And now it's like, and then I went through a long period where I was like, well, obviously my day job is now my job, and brewing is just going to be something I do for fun. Because brewing changed in Denmark. Lots of breweries came out, lots of places. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to break in now. And it's a lot of work, and it's tough, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm making really good, steady money at my day job. So I kind of gave up on ever doing like brewing professionally. And now I'm kind of entering a phase where I feel like I want to do it semi-professionally, like not like still as a hobby, but do something commercial, like be able to have my beers out and do stuff, but without the like, oh, well, I'm full-time starting a brewery. But I think that's what I'm going to do in the new year, is I'm going to start working towards having a commercial, like some recipes that I know really well. And I don't want to brew at other people's facilities. That's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to, whether it will ever happen or not, I want to make this a more professional setup. I want to do a lot of projects around the brew house. That's going to be like its own video in the new year, about the things that I want to do, and then the things that I would really want to do if I got like super serious about trying to sell my beer. I want that to be like a double series. And then just like, how do you go about, because now one of the big daunting things back in the day when I wanted to do this as a career is that I didn't speak Danish like at a very high level. Now I do. I both speak and understand Danish at a very high level, so I could very easily go through the steps of getting a brewery going, getting a business license, getting approved by the Food and Beverage Association, getting a liquor license, all that kind of stuff. I know how to do that, and I would actually like to document that as if maybe I'm going to do it. And I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but it could be a fun thing to like work towards something like that. I love this idea, this new, I've read about it online, these like membership breweries where it's just like it's almost like a subscription, but you're like a member, and the brewer promises to brew X amount of beers per year for your membership, or it's like you become a member and then you can buy the batches, and so all the batches are always sold beforehand. I think that that's an awesome model. I would really love to like delve more into that. That's the kind of model that I think I could do, like having a full-time day job and then just doing like beer like once a month type of situation, because I'm also like, even if I just did it as some kind of a fun series where I just got like a certain amount of people who would want to have like a certain amount of beer, because I have trouble getting rid of all the beer. Like that's been one of my issues throughout all of this, has been like, what do I do with all this beer? So if I have a full kegerator on, then I have 80 liters. I can do like 80 liters of beer at a time. And I try not to drink like every day, especially now that, you know, as my optometrist said, I've turned 40. I struggle to get rid of the beer, and I've tried to do smaller batches, which is also fine. But then it's like, then if I hit on like a really good beer, then I don't have enough of it. That's stupid, but it would be awesome if I could get like a small group of people together that I could just be giving the beer to and getting like feedback from it as well. So that could be like a cool thing that I could do like a series on, like trying to. And I don't know if I would do, because obviously you can just give your beer away. So maybe I would start with that, where I would just find like some people in the local area or the local area within where I work that I would be able to just share beers with. Another thing is I would like to up my packaging game. I've got a bottle filler that I haven't ever broken into to put beer in bottles, but I kind of want to get into canning. I was considering doing like glycol. I would like to get into some like better gear. I'm in a position where I could do like better gear type stuff too. So I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do in the new year. I want to have like an outlet for my like fun, creative, like goofy side that is just like my ADHD side. And I know like a lot of people are like, oh, ADHD, everybody's got it these days. I've had it since the 90s. Yeah, that's right. I got diagnosed in the 90s. That's like the Stone Ages. My optometrist says I'm 40. Son of an unforgivable. But like an outlet for that side of me that's just like, crack a beer and tell stories and say dumb shit and talk about stickers and look at this and hey, I can make French toast or whatever. But then the more serious side, have like this channel maybe dedicated to something more focused, which would be like brewing and moving towards being like almost professional, even if it's going to be hobby professional. I think that would really help me. That would really help me make videos more often, because I hate just flooding this channel with random garbage. Because I know that there are people out there who like the random garbage, but there are a lot of people who like the the actual brewing stuff. So I can just kind of like spread out to that. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go in. I gotta check on dinner stuff, and I didn't break into my little guy. I'll take him in with me. He won't go to waste. I promise. Also, it's getting cold out here. I will maybe post this. I can try and post this video. You know what? 25 minutes. That's a long time. But if you made it this far, let me know. Like anything that I've said so far, let me know in the comments what you think. If it's a good idea. I also want to change the name of this, I think, channel. This is probably way too late to be naming, but I want to come up with a name for my beer and my brewery. So I've been working on that too. We'll maybe talk about that in the new year. But anyway, I really hope that you stick around for the new year. If you've been around for a long time, I know that there's some guys out there who have been watching for a really long time, and if you've made it this far and you've been around for a long time, I appreciate it. It's I know that I don't like keep up, or I don't have like a community where I talk a lot back and forth, but I know you guys are out there. The guys in Michigan who watch and comment and have given me advice over the years, awesome. I followed all that advice, and I found some of mine and my sister's favorite places off recommendations from you guys, which is just awesome. Guys who watch me in Denmark, and all great. Everybody who watches, it's great. I still like making these, and I just want to find a way to make it better, make it more fun, and more not fun. I don't know. Give myself some fun, and then give myself some direction to cover the two sides of me, the ADHD side and the professional side, which is all like lists and check marks and that. So, all right, I'm gonna go in. This hit me like a truck. I'm sure you can see that. The gimbal, I am sorry if people get like motion sick off this sumbitch. I'm really, and then I've done it. I'm getting kind of sick from doing it. Happy New Year. I'm gonna go watch The King, not the Burger King. Although I had this discussion with my wife. He's the king. He is the Burger King, right? Because like there are Burger Kings in Denmark, and he is the king of Denmark. Therefore, he is the king of Burger Kings in Denmark. Therefore, he is the Burger King. Think about that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave you with going into 2025. You think about that. Unless Burger Kings are foreign bastions of a foreign monarchy, and I don't want to think about that. Cheers. Merry Christmas. No, wait. Happy Merry New Year. Happy everything. 2025 is going to be the year of beer. The year of Black IPA. That's what I'm going to call it. I love Black IPA. See you in 2025.